say the number one way to prevent conflict is to listen. 4 killed in gang-related incident.
Everywhere I go. Do you ever feel alienated? Not in another city or country, but right down the street from where you live. Well, that's the way I feel most of the time. Do you know what it's like to walk down the street and give some nice old lady a smile, and in turn she crosses the street, clutching her purse? I'm not a criminal. I am not a thief. I have good morals and I work hard. But to some people, it doesn't matter how hard you try, how many days you spend in church. I'm still just a black boy with the same criminal intentions as all the others. What can I do?
American youth are more violent than any other country. Brat.
Brat? That's what my dad calls me, too. He was in the basement again last night, drinking his whiskey. And he just sits there in front of his transistor radio, turning the knobs back and forth, never on any particular station. And then it starts. The yelling and the screaming and the throwing things. And I know because I always sneak down the stairs far enough to see. And my mother is so helpless. What can I do?
New evidence is revealed in Columbine shootings. Freak.
You know, I wasn't always like this. The freak you're afraid to sit next to at the bus stop. Believe it or not, last year I was in the homecoming court and president of the National Honor Society. I didn't just wake up like this! It was all the small things. Like I was a 3.9 student instead of a 4-point. And I wasn't elected captain of the cheerleading squad. That's when it got to me. Perfectionism. I hated myself. I could not stand someone being better than me. And that's when I started cutting myself. It wasn't that it made me perfect. It was just my punishment for not being perfect. What else could I do?
War still at large in Jerusalem.
Excuse me, do you know what time the bus is coming?
Jew.
You know, I've never been afraid of being Jewish. It's never been an issue. So that day on the train came as a complete shock to me. I was just sitting there, reading a book, minding my own business. Do you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ? She was asking me. What could I say other than, no, I'm Jewish? Well, that was the worst thing I could have said. Because after that, she started screaming at me. Then I felt everyone on the train staring at me while she was screaming at me. She was saying things like, Jew, you're going to hell. I was being attacked because I was Jewish. After that, I was afraid. I was afraid of being Jewish. No, I'm just going to walk.
Sharona, wait. Sharona!
Stricter regulations are being passed on strip clubs. Trash.
I am not trash! You know, I never thought it would happen to me. He was a nice, normal guy. I'd only known him for a few weeks, but still I thought I knew him better than that. You know, I told myself if I was ever in a situation like that, I would do whatever I had to do. I would fight back. I would say no. But he was too strong. I did everything I could, but he was too strong. I don't know if I can ever trust anyone ever again. What can I do?
Excuse me. Is there an extra seat?
Oh, you don't?
Would you like to sit down?
Thank you.
You have no idea how glad I am to see you. I've been surrounded by a bunch of freaks all day.
What makes her think that she can talk to me that way? Growing up, I wasn't exposed to other cultures, except for in the jokes I heard and saw on TV. But that doesn't give me a right to think less of people that I know nothing about. That would only make me less of a person. But sometimes I get these thoughts. These terrible stereotypes just pop into my head. Obviously, I never say anything. But I still feel guilty. I'm constantly hearing about the need to stop prejudice, but no one ever mentions how. What can I do?
90% of America's youth think discrimination is a problem, and almost none of them think that they're a part of it. Well, I'm glad that I'm not a part of it.
Experts say the #1 way to prevent conflict is to listen.
What can I do?
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 Listen.